Greetings, greetings, greetings. You are now tuned into the vault. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. Just want to thank you for tuning in live, listening to replay. We always appreciate everybody that tunes in live, listens in the replay. This is the vault, episode 422, secure party creditor process. This has been a long-awaited episode. We appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. People that have reached out for consultations throughout the years. This episode isn't our traditional content of just going over trusteeship, but we're going to answer a lot of questions that we get in consultations. Uh, just rather important to talk about it so you can possibly eliminate a question that you may have about the secure party process. This is something that we've dealt with for years. We're on episode 422. We've been doing this for over 4 or 5 plus years. We have come in contact with people through consultations for years now, asking about this process. People have cried on the phone before in disappointment of the fact that they've had thousands of dollars taken from them, and they just haven't been able to create anything fruitful from this process. So we always, want to talk about it so you can eliminate a consultation fee and really move forward in your trustee training because that's what these goofballs, these gurus, these clowns over the internet that are selling SPC packages, selling supposedly the same information that has been put out for over 20 or 30 years, and all of these dudes are hiding and they're broke somewhere. Whether they're woman to, it doesn't matter. So we're going to be gender neutral. We're just saying guys because it's a general term. Secure party process. Appreciate New York for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate New York for tuning in live, listening to replay. But once again, we definitely had to do this episode. This is a demand episode. Feel free to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, so you can focus on getting, the updates and the pop-up episodes that we do when we do our pop-up episodes. So we're just gonna go ahead and hop straight into it. We're gonna go over questions that we've been asked throughout the years because this is a detrimental conversation to the community at large. This information, the secure party process, has literally ruined families. So if you want to be the next family on the chopping block, feel free. They're not discharging houses. They're not discharging cars. That's not what's happening, ladies and gentlemen. We've been around these people, face to face. You want to know what secure party process entails? It entails somebody selling you a package, somebody selling you some information, and then how much money did you make off of it? Did you start a business with the information? No. It's been purported for 5, 10 years, 20 years plus. Oh, well, if you get control of your birth certificate, you're going to be sovereign. The sovereign citizen conversation. This conversation has evolved out of pure laziness to do something for their families. Why or how? Well, first of all, you have to build something. You're not born as a finished product. So just because you were born and you've been given a birth certificate, whether it's been given to an institution, a commercial institution, or not, how are you valuable? You didn't build anything yet. But this comes from ignorant, lazy mentality of something for nothing. So we're going to talk about it in a way which is not completely insulting to the listeners because they may have started the process and they say, "Hey man, let's get this done. Let's move on. Like what is the whole deal?" So one of the questions we got this past week was, you know, is it even worth my time? First of all, if you're trying to become a secure party and you don't have a job or you're building a business, what are we talking about? You gotta have money to even do the so-called process with these goofballs. Oh man, you enroll in the process, secure party process. You got to pay me hundreds or thousands of dollars, and I'm going to help you what? It's called the redemption process. You going to get your freedom from the system because the system's got you as some little feeble, little minded slave, let alone to the system, but to me because I'm about to take your money and you're still going to be a goddamn worker. I didn't teach you to be a boss. I didn't train you to be a boss. I trained you to be a worker so you can try to take the easy route out. That's what they say. People say, oh man, the secure party process, it's going to help me get rid of child support. Let's go there. Oh, it's going to help me with my child support because I've made some bad decisions with whoever I slept with. And so we don't have private agreements in place. And so the state got involved. The public got involved, because I'm utilizing a social, because the secure party goofballs didn't teach me or train me to just go ahead and stop using the social and go ahead and open up a business and build something outside of my name. That's why Trustee Training is so important. Christian at trustchristian.com. That's Trustee Training. Christian at trustchristian.com. Not secure party bull crap. Oh man, I'm gonna go through the secure party process. I'm gonna get my freedom. And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put a lien on my birth certificate. I'm gonna put the birth certificate has a debt to me. The United States has a debt to me. These are the thought processes and questions that we get. Well, we got a family right now. When you can't provide for your family or you're not providing for your family, what is being able to discharge a debt going to be able to do for you? You have to get off your rusty dusty and do something. Oh man, I was just born into abundance. Here's the new age thought. I was born into abundance. Energy should be free. The United States stole the land. And they stole it. It's on the Moorish territory. We're in the Moorish territory. Alhambra, Al Maroc. This is the new Africa. Really? So let's talk about it. What did you build? You trying to take from the institution? You think the institution owes you something? If the institution or the system owes you, you have an entitlement mentality. That's what the secure party process is for. People that have an entitlement mentality. It's somewhere in your DNA. It's somewhere in your blood. It's somewhere in your spirit. You think somebody owes you something. You think the government owes you something, which the government is the people. But because the government has a system of institution and as far as creating more dollars than what you ever want to go out and earn. Man, I ain't trying to earn $1 million. That's a lot of work. These people making a lot of money. That's a lot of work. I'm not trying to do that. I was born. I'm a colored person. I'm supposed to be given something for reparations. That's the conversation. But it doesn't just go into the colored people. Because we get people from all races reaching out to us. All races. Asian, Caucasian. All of them are reaching out. So when you think that we haven't had these conversations, you're fooling yourself. We actually have had these conversations with Asian people. And they went through the training and they're fine. They went through our training. They understand the difference between public and private. Secure party creditor process, that's public. It falls under contract law, which is private, but where are you filing it? On the public. People come to us all the time. Well, how do you register the private trust in the public? It's not public. It's not registered. Well, all right, let's get to this point in the consultation because this question comes up. Well, what about the treasury stuff? Is that even worth looking into? Let's go down that road. Let's go down that road of the treasury, whatever that is. The treasury is what? going to give me some account. I'm the smart guy. I'm the rocket scientist here. You might as well call yourself a rocket scientist, because there are people that are making millions of dollars a year that don't even, like, they're not participating in secure party process on a personal level. But most of the time, people in this environment, the secure party creditor process, they're doing it for their personal name. They're not doing it for a business. Whereas if you come into the Vaults Trustee Training, we show you all day, every day. Secure party creditor process is actually used for businesses. Not the business you own, but the business you control. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. These people, the people that are actually utilizing it properly, that are issuing debt and receiving, what would we say, they're issuing debt and they're receiving investor capital. Secure party creditor process. Why? They're issuing debt. They have a public company, they're issuing debt, and now they have to put a lien or they have to create a security for the investment. Well, no, the secure party creditor process is to protect my name. Trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. What name? The business name? The personal name? Well, I'm not trying to deal with child support. You can get off child support at any time, right? You didn't know that? You didn't know that the parties can come together privately and end it? Well, maybe because your negotiation skills aren't that good. Maybe because you're not that good of a businessman or a businesswoman. So you don't know how to negotiate with the other hostile party. They have hostile negotiators. Learn it. If you're in a hostile situation, you learn hostage negotiation. You learn negotiation skills. Well, I don't know how to negotiate. The other party just put me on the papers. I'm trying to discharge the debt, but I might not even try to take care of my kid, knowing that the cost of living is high. I'm going to put that burden on one party. See, it's a spiritual value system. What do you value? Do you value taking care of your kid? Or do you value, oh man, I'm just trying to get out of paying some payments? Because I don't want the government to take 10 or 20% of my money. Oh man, the government's taking most of my check, man. What's the point of going to work? I ain't even going to go to work. But you didn't go negotiate with the private party that actually initiated the public dispute, the public charge to another public person. Oh, it's the social. It's the social. Secure party creditor process, I'm just trying to make sure that, nobody has access to my body. Because I might commit a wrong thing. So, hey, I'm not supposed to be held liable. We live in a penal system. That's fair. That's a fair conversation. We're in a penal system. So that means we're dealing with pecuniary in nature. Pecuniary dealing with monetary. That's fair. Takes money to make money, right? But we continuously get this conversation coming through the vault. Maybe it's our first to beginning days. We don't know. But we can tell you, don't waste your time. People say, oh man, they get on the phone. It's one of the first questions they're dying to figure out. Oh man, I'm in the middle of the secure party creditor process. I don't have a job because I don't want to use the social because I don't want to deal with taxes. It's trust Christian, own nothing, control everything. You wouldn't have to deal with that if you learned how to build something. If you decided to build something. Because when you build something, the rules are different. Not when you're entitled, but when you build something. Secure party creditor process has taken thousands of dollars from people's lives. It's taken hours, 100 hours, easy. It's like a job. I mean, I'm sitting here on the weekend and I'm trying to figure out, is this real? I'm trying to figure out if it's real. What's real? Well, I'm supposed to be able to become a sovereign citizen. I'm supposed to be, what do they call themselves? I don't want to be a citizen. I'm going to become a foreign national. A foreign national that's what? Broke? Do you have the proper mindset towards money? It's just a piece of paper. Do you have the right emotional connection towards money? It's just a piece of paper. But it has so much effect on your life, right? So now we got to get out earning it. And we got to be the smartest person in the room. We smarter than a lot of smart people. Let the secure party creditors say it. We got to be smarter than a lot of people in the room. The smart people, the lawyers, the SEC accountants, the SEC licensed people. Nah, what you mean? They took a test. They said study for hundreds of hours to learn how to create securities for secure parties, legal securities, so they're not defrauding people. Well, hey, this person's free. They're sitting on the internet. They're telling me they're going to give me game for free. But when I really, the game's not to be sold, it's told is meant to be sold. So I get a little bit of information. Then I got to invest in their training. I got to invest in their university. I gotta go to their whatever it is. They got a book. Why do you think it didn't hit the mainstream yet? Because it's not worthwhile. That's a fact. It's not worthwhile. Oh man, Trust Christian, man. You was into more stuff. We heard you from the beginning episodes. You were talking about it, but now what was different? We found out it's not fruitful. We found out it's not profitable. We're speaking from first-hand experience. So you can't come to Trust Christian and vote saying, oh man, you don't know nothing about it. What are you, a crayon? We know that humans aren't crayons. At the same time, what does that have to do with business? We're not saying that you're a crayon. We can agree on that. We can have higher levels of conversation. We're not trying to place you in chattel slavery. This is how bad it is. We had someone reach out to the vault the other day. Oh man, they said, well, I got a frivolous claim back from the treasury. Should I be scared? Now think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Think about how many people are winging this process without a mentor, without a university, or whatever else they got out here. So they winged it. They were winging it from the seat of their pants, and they got a frivolous letter back from the treasury. Now, do you think that makes somebody confident in what they're doing? Do you think that makes somebody say, dang, I need to keep proceeding forward? No. But the issue is at hand is that they've been sold a bag of goods that don't add up. I got a frivolous claim back. I didn't do it right. So do I keep going down this negative hole? Or do I turn back now and say, you know what? Actually, let me not do this because they already done sent me some adverse information and I'm just trying to live my life peacefully, successfully. Focused on business, not focused on my first name, not focused on my name, but focused on the company names that I'm building as a trustee, as an asset manager, as a wealth manager and a wealth builder. Oh no, man. I'm just trying to live under the radar. I'm trying to live in I'm trying to live off the grid, outside of the system. Outside of the system is Trust Christian. No, nothing control everything. That's outside the system. That's outside the system. Oh man, wait. So you saying don't use the social, but at the same time, how am I gonna operate? Trust Christian don't none control everything. That's why we have trustee training. This is a business. It's not personal. Secure party creditor process. They all come to the vault all the time. Should I just stop? Look, here we go. Are you an adverse party to the United States? Yea or nay? Well, if you're an adverse party to the United States, What do you think you are to other places? An adverse party. What makes you think those other jurisdictions is going to let you come in there when you're not even complying to the system that you say you're from? A system that's purported to be free, a system that's actually more focused on business than it is personal. The system is built around business. It's not built around personal. But people have gone into the public incorrectly, so now they're doing business in their personal name. Own everything. Own your house, own your car, own the business. You own everything. You left the private. You own the social security number. Listen how you talk about the social security number. I got a social security number. My social security number. Right. That's taking yourself out of the private and going into the public. But this is so hard to grasp for people. You know, when we talk to people all the time and we tell them, look, all you gotta do is stop saying you have a social. How do you have a social? You don't own a social. You don't own it. And they still every now and then a slip up. Why? Because it's habit. Because you've been properly programmed to think that you own something. You own a social security number. You own your name. Well, if you own your name, it's taxable. Why? Because does your name make money? Let's talk about it. Does your name make money? Oh, no, I ain't got no job. I ain't got no business. So, no, my name is not making money. Then how are you generating wealth? How are you managing wealth? Are you doing it from a trustee position? Are you doing it from a wealth manager position? Or are you doing it from a position of, oh, man, I'm just not doing nothing. But I got mouths to feed. Security party creditor process has ruined lives. It will not hit the mainstream. Who's doing the documents for you? The person that's selling you the documents? Who's doing the documents for you? Well, they gave me the documents. So that means you got a legal document. Yeah, it's a legal document because it's a contract. I'm a secured party creditor. So, who's the creditor? Who's the debtor? Well, my lowercase name is the creditor. In the uppercase name, that's the debtor. Now we're gonna share with y'all that you think that it works. The same name applied twice. Well, it's uppercase and lowercase. I'm the living flesh being. I'm a living being. Is Target a living being? Is Walmart a living being? Is Amazon a living being? No, but guess what? It's a person. Are you a person? Persons are legal. Those things deal with liabilities, just like a normal human being does. See, persons, they can buy, sell, hold, and lease property, per the definition. A person, a legal person. Corporations can buy, sell, hold, and lease property. Trusts can buy, sell, hold, and lease property. Secured party creditor, what did you do? Well, I own my name. So the small case person, because that's what it's got to be, a person. Living flesh beings on a spiritual level don't own anything. You don't even own your own body. You don't even own the time that you're here on earth. Oh man, Trust Christian, you putting out that type of message? Yes! You don't even own the time that you have here on earth. Do you own your body? If you owned it, would you ever lose it? No. But people do lose it. It goes away. It's okay. That's just management. Some things stay, some things go. But are you a manager or are you an owner? Well, I'm still putting it together. We do an episode the other day about how there's a banned book list. I mean, you would think that a person would grasp it, but it shows you the level of ignorance and cognitive dissonance that goes through people's mind. We tell them there's a private. They come on the phone all the time. Is there a book that you could recommend so we don't have to invest in our private education right off the rip? So we don't have to invest in our education because we went to poor measly public school? Oh man, I didn't get a real education from public school. I really wasn't taught about business. They didn't teach us about taxes. They didn't teach us about accounting. They didn't teach us about lawyers. They didn't teach us all this stuff in public school, trust Christian and evolve. So what are we going to do? Woe is us. Okay. Woe is us. Woe are you? Because you weren't given the right information. It's a lot of information out here in the world. Always has been, always will be. It's a lot of information in the world. But I mean, I'm going to go on Google, a half-ass public Google, a half-ass search engine. That's not the best search engine in the world. It's a popular one. Oh man, but I thought I could Google it. You tell us to Google it, we could Google it. Can I Google the private? Look, ladies and gentlemen, there's public and there's a private. They don't mix. They're separate. Okay? There is no. Well, can we get the book? Can you give us a book? The book. Is it public or private? Well, you gonna give us that because you private. So give us the private books so we can read them in the public, but not invest in our private education fully. That's why we haven't put up a book list ever. Because it's like a doctor, you have to diagnose the trustee's needs. Everybody doesn't have the same needs. We get people that enroll into the training that have $1 million business. They don't need to read certain books. They're already successful. There are people that are just starting out a business or they're transitioning from employeeship and they actually need a book to help them. The books for people that are making over a certain amount of money, they don't need them. They've actually already read them. Secured party creditor process. What are you securing? I'm securing my name. They can't touch me. Who's they? Well, the government. So what are you? An outlaw? Are you outside the law? Nah, I'm not outside the law, but since I didn't create the law, I'm not going to abide by it. Right. You're an outlaw. But I'm a foreign sovereign citizen international or national. So let's go there. Let's talk. Did you get a passport? Well, I got a passport without the social. We going to sell that course on the internet too. That cockamamie bullshit. Oh man, I'm gonna get me a passport without a social. Whose passport is it? Well, it's the government's passport. Right? It's the government's passport. You're not off the grid. You think when you walk through the airport, they ain't got a camera on your face? You think you outside the law where you going to come in their country, you going to come into that jurisdiction, and you going to do anything and whatever you want? Because you got an entitlement mentality? You think because no one's quote unquote truly in control of your actions and your decisions, you think you can go in and infringe on the public common customs and usages. When you go to these other countries and you spit chewing gum on the ground and they give you a ticket. You thought it was brutal in the States for a damn speeding ticket. What happens when you go to another country and they have a social credit system? Where all these vigilantes and these secure party creditor processes moving to other countries? Why are they staying in the American jurisdiction, where it's actually one of the more freer jurisdictions, because the secure party creditor process is built around business and the States is built on business. Each state, you can go set up a different corporation. That's like a foreign jurisdiction. That's why when you go open up corporations in different jurisdictions, they actually consider it a foreign corporation when you're entering in a new jurisdiction. They didn't say private, but foreign jurisdiction. If you're going from Florida to Carolina or Alabama to New York, when you go from one state to the next state with a business, it's considered a foreign jurisdiction. Simple. This conversation of the secure party creditor has preyed on people's emotional weakness. You haven't been built for it tough yet. You don't want to go make some real money in your life. So what do you want to do? You want to take the shortcut to the shortcut. Man, if I built a business, I might be able to build wealth faster than having an hourly wage. That's a proper assumption. But, oh no, these people from the secured party creditor process, oh no, we're the smartest people in the room. We know more about securities than the damn securities agent. What are you talking about? See, when you come through the vault, we actually have securities agents on our team, our mentors, our relationships. We have securities agents, ex-securities agents. But on the public side, for the secured party creditor gurus, they don't want to talk about securities. They don't want to talk about that as a security. Why? Because securities are posted on the stock market. And guess what? Their broke asses ain't posting nothing on the stock market. Nothing. They're not building businesses. They're trying to shortcut the shortcut. Do some paperwork for $200 or $300 or $500. We've seen it at $7,000, $6,500, and don't call back until you got it. That's how they talk to you. Oh, enroll in my university. What? Okay, let's see the recent graduating class, because universities have graduating classes, don't they? What are they graduating into? A hemorrhage of cash? What are they graduating into? More brokenness? See, it's marketing, baby. It's business. We not mad. We don't care. We giving the buckshot for the warning. So when you reach out to the vault, you say, oh man, I secure party creditor, I'm going through this process and it's not really getting me anywhere. Like, I'm trying to figure it out, but I really don't have a mentor because they said it was private, and so I don't really have a mentor. I'm trying to wing it because I'm broke or I'm lazy. How you going to do the secure party credit process and you don't even got a job? At least a job. You're not even working at McDonald's. Well, I'm not trying to go into the public and then they go put taxes on my back because I'm still what? I didn't invest in my private education and know how to do it yet? Trust Christian know not to control everything? Is the money coming to you in your name? Well, yeah, because you didn't invest in your private education. It takes money to make money. We're giving you the rules. We're not trying to sugarcoat it. So the secure party creditor goofballs, the gurus, they're going to tell you, well, don't work using the social until you get your trust in place. How you going to get a damn trust in place? You ain't got no money. Well, I'm going to go get the private trust off the internet because we want to be cheap. Wealth and cheap are not in the same category. Because cheap deals with the quality, not the price. You have to pay for the private education. Oh man, I thought it was going to be easy. They made it sound easy. They told me they was getting out of jail off the discharge. Y'all really think that? You gonna buy that line? Or you gonna wait to find out? Well, I don't need no license plate on my tags. This is what they say. I don't need license plates on my car because I'm not under the state. You're not under the state. But who keeps the damn street clean? Not you. Are you going out there and sweeping it? Are you cleaning it? Well, are you cleaning the streets? No. Then how the street going to stay clean when you using a vehicle on the road? The road is partially clean through taxes. So you can get back and forth for work every day to make the streets clean. But oh no, I don't want the streets clean. I'll pay for that myself if I got to, if I feel like it. No, the system in place, the common usage and customs, just like in other countries where they say you can't put chewing gum on the ground, well, you can't spit chewing gum out on the ground, or you're going to get a fine on your social credit score. The states has fees too. The states have taxes that they associate with dirtying the road too. So that's how they indirectly keep it clean. Nah, man, trust Christian in the vault. You sound like an agent. You sound like you on the inside. You sound like you for the system. The system works. People are coming out the hood every day becoming millionaires. You not going to be one of them or something? No one said you had to play a sport. No one said you had to be a celebrity. There's many things you could do. You could do what? Build a business. Huh? Oh, nah, man. When I gotta build a business, I was born. Born what? I got a social security number. I got a birth certificate. So let's take away the birth certificate. They don't have that anymore because they didn't always have that. Generations past, they didn't have that. Oh, with a social security number, they're taking money out my pocket to ensure that I don't die as an indigent. They're gonna give me 40% of what I made back to me. But guess what? If I was smart enough and I actually went out and created a diversified portfolio, they won't even give me that. That was the indirect change. That was my charity to the government. That was my charity to the system for people that really aren't going to make it. That's indirect charity for the people that they're disabled. It's indirect. We're not saying it's solvent. We could talk about the veterans. It's the same thing. Is the system perfect? No. But indirectly, can you make it perfect? Can you make it better? Yeah. It's called taking an idea and building it from scratch. Taking an idea and building it from zero. These companies weren't around 10, 20 years ago. Facebook wasn't around 20 plus years ago. These companies weren't around 20 plus 30 years ago. These internet companies, they were built from scratch. Is it hard to believe that? Or are you caught up in a moment of, damn, I'm on hard times. Damn, I gotta go from 0 to a million. I gotta go from 0 to a hundred real quick. And at the same time, I gotta still maintain my life. I still want to go on vacations. I still want to eat good. I still want to raise a family. And I gotta get to a million so I don't die broke. Hey, look. Y'all can keep listening to these guys. They got gray hairs in their head. They got gray hairs. They must be telling the truth. He's sitting in the house. He's got gold chains around his neck. He's got gold watches on his wrist. He must be telling the truth. Why you think the vault hasn't needed to do that for years? And we actually do workshops with real people. So we're not hiding behind a computer screen and coming on camera with gold chains and watches. We don't need to do that at the vault. Oh man, I gotta stunt. I gotta show y'all that I'm making some money, which is your money. Cause if you're doing secured party creditor, they don't make money. They discharge debt. That's the motive. Well, if I get a debt, I'ma discharge it. Okay. We just had a consultation this past week where somebody said they got a frivolous claim from the treasury. And they actually are still contemplating on whether they was gonna keep moving forward with the decision. But they scared. You scared to build your dream, or you scared to do something illegal? You might want to be scared to do something illegal. But building your dream, there should be no fear. It should be love and passion to develop something beautiful for the world. But oh no, I'm trapped, man. I'm a slave. That's what they telling us. It's indirect slavery. It's the social. Really? Okay. We hear you. We'll keep focusing on building wealth while people are trying to discharge debt. Well, what about the set off? Are they the same thing? The discharge and set off is the same thing? Is it business or is it personal? Like, appreciate New York for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate New York for tuning in live, listen to replay. Somebody said, have you ever heard of self-sustaining nonprofit? First of all, if you're not making a profit, what you doing business for? Well, I didn't mean it that way. I didn't mean it's not going to make a profit. I'm talking about 501c3. Yeah, and for those, we talk about tax exempt. So that does mean you're making a profit. It's just tax exempt. Simple as that. We've had this conversation for years now. First of all, if you're doing charity, it's for the benefit of the public. That's why it's called charity. But I'm trying to be selfish, Trust Christian Revolt. I want a self-sustaining charity. I want a self-sustaining nonprofit. I don't want to help nobody out. I don't want to help the public out indirectly. Which, if you understood the purpose of charity is to lighten the burden of government, you actually would go start a charity. Because the government's not doing it correctly. Remember? You don't want to deal with Social Security. So why not go create better alternative retirement programs? But you probably still got a 401k. You ain't taking the money out because you're going to delay the taxes to the end. Well, let's ask the stupid question. You think taxes going to be higher later on or right now? But hey, I'm going to kick the can down the road and keep it in my 401k IRA because it just sounds smart and I'm getting a 3 to 4% return every year, regardless of what the market does. And I'm going to get taxed on it in the end. Not now, where taxes might be less than it will in 10, 20, 30 years from now. Makes a lot of no sense. A lot of young people have reached out to the vault for years, under 30. We've talked to them. They wanted to know. They want to know. Trust Christian Vault. It can't be this bad. These guys on the internet are making it sound like they living well. I see them. They actually showed their face. They got chains on their neck. They got gold. Uh-oh. Do you want to, or they got cars in their driveway? Is that the definition of success now? You can get a car on debt. That doesn't mean that you're not in debt. But I'm a secured party creditor. Yeah, it's a debt. But it's on the all cash name. It's not on my living flesh being name. Because really in my living flesh being name, I can't own anything anyways. But the all caps name owns it. The all caps name owns it? All cap name? That's a person, right? Yeah. Are you a person? But I'm a natural living being. So why are you entering in the public with contracts? We thought you can't do that. But that's what was told to me. I got a frivolous claim back from the treasury. I got a frivolous claim back from the IRS or whoever. And I'm scared. And I'm still thinking about moving forward because I just haven't figured out that I got to fall in love with my business ideas and go start a company and then be able to come into the trustee training and then have a company be owned by the private sector. Simple. No, I can't be that simple, Trust Christian Vault. They charging me hundreds of dollars. I'm an enrollment. I'm in a membership program, and I'm getting information I could have just Googled through the internet. I'm getting it from somebody's Dropbox. I'm getting it through the redemption. I got the redemption manual 1 through 5. It took me over 100 hours to read the first volume, and I still ain't did nothing. I ain't even made $1,000 off the information yet. See, here we go. Let's talk wealth management. See, in wealth management, we talk about living off the interest and getting a return on your principal. That's where we live off free investments. What are they talking about in the SPC or the secured party creditor process? Are they talking about living off a principal? Well, you could discharge it from the birth certificate. We've talked about this for years ad nauseum. It's rather boring, but we're doing this episode for the youth, the young ones that reach out all the time. The old heads, they trying to figure out a way because they've been working their whole life. They've been working their whole life. Oh man, I've been working my whole life, and I need a break. I haven't figured out yet that if I live in the United States, the best way to get around these liabilities is what? Trust Christian, know nothing, control everything. One of the ways to get around these liabilities is by going into business and not owning it. But I'm gonna figure it out. Trust Christian in the vault. It's gotta be an easy way. It's got to be an easier way. It's got to be an easier way. I'm working hard. Secure party creditor process is going to give me the the entitlement's dream. The entitlement dream. Now, I'm going to be able to live my life what? And do nothing. Sure. Have at it. Because guess what? The secure party creditor gurus, they sitting on the internet and they're making money off of me. How? Because I'm paying for their membership. They didn't say it was get me some money process, help me to minimize my liability process. It's to put me in a position where publicly on the public record, you're actually known as a creditor, which means you have a liability. What is your liability? The all caps name. It's a liability. Yes, it is a liability. So that's why I could discharge the liability's debts. Right. But when you discharge your credit card, can you keep using the credit card? It's quiet. It's crickets. If I discharge my credit card, shouldn't I be able to use the credit card again? When you discharge your house, when you discharge your car. Will I trust Christian in the vault? Family, I haven't seen the true paperwork yet. Man, people have been listening to this information for years, sitting at the table of idiots. Oh man, the secure party creditor gurus, they got 10,000 views. They got 100,000 views. It must be true. It gotta work for somebody. It's working for them. They giving me all the information. Is it working for them? If they are able to discharge a debt, that means they're living for free. Why would they need additional money? They don't need money. You're supposed to be using the birth certificate. You're supposed to be using the treasury account as a payoff mechanism. That's bullshit. It's baloney. They're not. And second of all, if the gov, which is the people, the majority, is actually working, exchanging their time for money, you can get to a level where, yes, you've made enough money where money makes money for you. We always talk about it from that perspective. That's a higher level than working for money. That's an investor mindset. When you're actually in a position where you're looking to make money from money, that's an investor mindset. That's why we can talk about it, because we're living it. We know that. So let's talk about it from this perspective of, oh, well, if I'm trading time for money, that's wrong. So I'm going to use my birth certificate to get rid of any debt. Because I don't want to trade time for money. But I want to use the money from the government that they created off my birth certificate to discharge a debt. Now let's think about this, ladies and gentlemen. How many people do that to the bank? Y'all could Google what hypothecation is. Oh man, I put money in the bank, fractional reserve banking. That means that they can issue out $10. This is in the mainstream. People know this in the mainstream. This is the facts. You can ask the average person. When you put $10 in the bank, or you put $1 in the bank, supposedly, we already know that's not supposed. It's what it is. This is called fractional reserve banking. You can go look up fractional reserve banking. You can go look up modern money mechanics. That's all you got to do. Okay. So when I put money in the bank, and then the bank issues out money for my money. First of all, it's your money. Trust Christian, know not to control everything. That's the first mistake people make, is they thought it was their money. No, it's not. You're just a manager of the money. One. That's what we talk about in trustee training. Let's continue. Oh man, fractional reserve banking.
Hypothecation, they issue in dollars off of my dollar or the dollar that I put in the system, back in the system in the bank. But then when I go to the bank to borrow money, they charging me interest. We cannot go there because there's levels to this. We cannot go there because there's an education to this. You have to educate yourself in modern money mechanics. You can't be ignorant to the facts. Oh man, don't tell me I gotta work. Yeah, we talked about it from the beginning of the episode because people might be lazy. They don't want to exchange money to get to the point where they can make money off the money that they're making. So when the bank does it to you, it's just because you're not in a position where you can make money off the money. That's why people enroll in trustee training, because we do talk about the insurance policies. And we're not talking about it from just getting there's life insurance, there's life insurance. I don't want to get life insurance. They're called private family banking policies. We're going to highlight a couple things. It's called private. That means, yeah, that if you're talking to someone in the public, they might not know it, but they're an insurance agent selling you a whole life or whatever life policy. They all try to talk to you about it, but guess what? Ask your agent, do they even have a policy like it? Do they use it? Tell me an example of when you use it in your life. Well, guess what? We have examples. When we did our workshop, the insurance agent talked about a situation where their kid had an opportunity and they used the money from the private family banking system, took money out of the insurance policy and actually paid for the opportunity and actually got a return and put the money back in the policy because they're utilizing it for banking purposes. They charge themselves points on the money and they use it for banking purposes. What's the difference? Public and private, business versus personal. That's the difference. But oh no, no, trust Christian, no, oh, the gurus over the internet. I didn't read Modern Money Mechanics. I don't know what hypothecation is. So guess what? I think the government owes me based off my birth certificate. I think the gov owes me based off of my social. They owe me. Well, guess what? You got people scared talking about, oh, well, I owe the government whatever's on the national debt clock. Whatever. Did they send a bill to your house yet? No. Well, you don't know it. You, the living being, remember that man or woman that you want to sit here and say doesn't owe any debts, but the name in the public does. The birth certificate does. That's what they're saying. I don't owe a debt. The corporation owes a debt. That's cool. And here we go. Let's go. Let's go there. Well, the corporation United States is bankrupt, so how they gonna put a fee or a charge on the debt name? But what happens when you stop using that name? Let's shift the conversation now. What happens when you all stop using what's supposedly the government name? You just stop using it. Oh, what goes offline? I put money in the system and I can't get it out through Social Security. When we've already in this episode said that indirectly it'll go to where somebody that has a disability or things like that. We're not saying that it gives them all the money that they need. We're not saying that it gives veterans all the money they need. We're saying that it's an indirect tax to give people money for many different things. We're not saying that they do it perfectly. We're not saying that they execute really well. But why aren't you going to create a company for retired people or a pension plan for retired people? Why aren't you going to do it? Because the gurus have convinced people that guess what? The power's outside of yourself. It's in the government. Or is you paying the guru hundreds of dollars for their membership? Or is you paying the guru to get these secure party processes? That's not to go start a retirement fund for retirement people. That's not for you to go out and start a company to help out veterans, people that you know might be disabled and need to get on their feet, domestic violence people. It's not for that. It's for you to do what? Discharge debt. How come you can you discharge other people's debt? How come the people that got this information, they actually tell you that they're private, but they're selling you the meal ticket in the public. They're selling you the wolf tickets in the public. What a joke. We're doing it for the youth or anybody else that reaches out to the vault talking in secure party creditable BS. We already put the episodes up. You can feel free to type into, this is your free consultation right now. You can type into the chat any question you got about the secure party creditor process. You could type it into the chat. We're here. We're going to stick around for some extra minutes for sure for this secure party creditor process information. You can feel free to type your question into the chat. We know you got Twitter fingers. We're going to let you take your time. You can type these questions into the chat. But this process, we already know. Put like this. It's all about ROI. But see, in our system in the private, it's focused on ROP, return on principal. So when you get your money back, the original money, you're living off the interest. See, this is an investor thought process, not that poor people mentality of, oh, well, I was born into the system and it's the wealthiest system on the planet, but it's a bankrupt system. Why do you want bankrupt Federal Reserve notes if it's no good? Why do you need Federal Reserve notes or the digits, not even the paper, but the actual zeros, the calculations, the accounting for the Federal Reserve System? Why do you need that? Well, I don't need it. So then don't use it. Do you need a social? No. Then don't use it. Well, I'm going to go get a passport and I'm not going to use the social. So you're going to go get a passport without the social. When you go to another country, did you get a passport over there? Nah. Why? Because you're broke. Freedom isn't free. That birth certificate, even if you think it costs money, the paper printed on costs money. The organizations that created this system, it costs money. This goes back to an investor mentality. Oh man. When I went to the other systems, I'm not under the system. I'm not under the states. But I'm going to go to a country that's under the UN, which the United States in this country is under the UN. You traveling? You going to other countries that are under the UN? Do you know who the international police are? You think you got to worry about the domestic police. You know who the international police are? Well, I'm just sick of the system. The system seems like it's abusing me. The system seems like it's abusing people. Is it abusing you? Yeah, because I got to go out and work. And I'm not getting paid enough. So when you going to create a business? That's the first alternative to the situation. And you can't do that in every country. And not only that, if you live in the States, you can go create a corporation in many other jurisdictions, let alone in another state. And you can actually apply and create a company in another country. But I'm not trying to report that. We know. That's the issue. You don't want to deal with accounting when all businesses deal with accounting. But you personally wouldn't have to deal with it if you weren't personally in business. But instead, most of these people are personally involved. Instead of just being a what? Manager and a trustee. But the government created a trust. It's a trust Christian Vault. You know, they got it's a Sesta K trust. Some goofball comes on the line the other day, says, Trust Christian, you don't know about a Sesta K trust? I need to get off the phone with you. You're right. Because you're going to get in fucking traffic this week and go to a job. That's what. We don't care at the vault. We're not slaves to a debt note or a Federal Reserve note. That's broke mentality. Oh, you don't know what a Sesta K trust is. Are you going to job? Are you working for somebody else right now? Yeah. We not. At the vault. We got mental freedom. We got time freedom. We got financial freedom. What do you got? Complaints. Man, the system's broken. The same system that helped us get out of poverty into wealth, it's available to you. And you got to make that decision and stop being around broke-minded people. It's the system's fault. When are you going to take control of the system? It's a game. Play the game and you can actually depart the game. As soon as you get your money up, you can go to another jurisdiction. The taxes might be different in another jurisdiction. The laws might be different in another jurisdiction. Some jurisdictions don't care if you spit gum on the ground. but there are jurisdictions that do. How many Americans do you see running over to China right now since they want to be so financially free? Why they not running over to China right now? Huh? Why y'all not running over to the UK? The GBP still the strongest currency in the world. Why y'all not running over to the UK? Why y'all not running down to Central and South America where they implementing civic Napoleon, where they got still civil laws in place? Huh? They not. They're lazy. They want to take advantage of the freedoms that people have died for. Their ancestors may have died for them to be in a position where you can operate a little bit more freely. We're not saying this is the freest country in the world. We'll never say that United States is the freest country in the world. We're not saying it's the perfect country. What we're saying is you have the opportunity to go from zero to hero. You have that opportunity. Whether you take it or not, that's on you. But to sit here and say, I'm going to do this vigilante process and jeopardize my family's freedom, have at it. Because you got a small, minute group of people sitting on the internet telling you, hey, you could do this. I did it. I got gold chains around my neck. I got iced out watches on my wrist. I look like I'm living in $1 million home. $500,000 home. I look like I came from nothing. That's what they tell you. They make you think that they got out of jail with this information. I got out of jail with the secured party creditor. They couldn't hold me too long. They couldn't hold me. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we've sat on the line and people have said this with sheer enthusiasm. I got out of jail because I'm a secured party. They couldn't hold me in here. Don't think you won't hear this sales tactic. It's a sales tactic. It's worse than a goddamn YouTube ad. Oh man, you know, I got out of jail. They couldn't hold me. I didn't give them my name. I didn't give them a name, and I didn't sign anything, and I got out. They couldn't hold me because I didn't give them anything. Okay. If you leave the States or any country, you don't have a passport, how you get back in the country you left? Just use common sense. Use logic. Don't let these people play on your emotions out here. Appreciate Mississippi for tuning in live, listen to replay. Always appreciate Mississippi for tuning in live, listen to replay. Feel free to type into the chat where you're listening live, listen to replay. We've already offered people the opportunity to type into the chat their questions. We look forward to seeing any of these questions. But as it stands right now, where are the secured party creditor questions? Because we get these consultations almost once a week. Oh man, should I stop the process? I'm going through it. I just got a frivolous letter from the damn treasury. But did you go to the university that you don't graduate from? You just end up getting paperwork sold to you? Call it what it is. I'm looking to acquire a nonprofit e-learning company. I'm not sure if it's advantageous to purchase a nonprofit, even though it's very profitable. Well, the thing that makes you sure about it is knowing what's called the EBITDA. Earnings before taxes, interest, amortization, and depreciation. The EBITDA. When you know the EBITDA of a company, the earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. And if we got it wrong, it's the EBITDA, god dang it. EBITDA. EBITD. If you Google it the way it sounds, for what the search engine's worth, EBITDA. We know these things at the vault. We don't have a problem with talking business because it's business, it's not personal. That's what gives you a good understanding of what is called earnings before. And then once we get through that process, we can see if it really has money, if it's profitable, or if it's not. It's like, okay, you want to acquire a company. That's great. So, do you have the money to do that? It doesn't matter if you have it, yes or no. It doesn't matter if you have it. Why? Let's just go to other sophisticated investors. You have to be surrounded by a team. You want to be surrounded by other sophisticated investors. One of them is a bank. One of them is hedge funds, VCs, angel investors. These are people that are investing too, just like you. They're investing in e-learning, just like you. You should contact the ones that are doing it, just like you, and see, well, hey, would you buy this company from me and I'll give you a successor fee? Would you fund me to go build this business? I'll be the CEO, founder. You all can, sure, if you guys are investing in e-learning companies, guess what? Yes, I had to give away 50% of my dream, but now guess what? I'm being backed by money. And I actually acquired a company and I didn't really need to be the smartest person in the room. Once again, person typed into the chat. Appreciate the conversation. Once again, feel free to type into the chat things that are related to the topic, secure party creditor process. One of the things when it comes to the EBITDA, uh, it's the nonprofit status that bothers me. Well, once again, are you talking nonprofit or are you talking tax exempt? That's the question. Now, if you look at the EBITDA, in the EBITDA, it says earnings before interest and what? Taxes. So, of course, there's going to be a skew in numbers, obviously, if a company's not paying taxes. But that doesn't mean that the company doesn't have earnings before, those other things, amortization, depreciation, and interest, all these things. But then you get to these secure party creditor process people. Oh, man, you know, I'm not taxable. That's what they say. You're not. The living being is not. But when the company's in the public, depending on the status, what they say, oh, I guess we gotta do an episode. I'm gonna do the status correction. For who? You or the entity? You or the business? Well, I've been amalgamated a few times as the property, the chattel property. These gurus over the internet told me I'm chattel property. The gurus told me I'm chattel property. Why? Because that's how marketing works. You got to tell somebody a pain point. We got to prey on your emotions. That's an Edward Bernays line. You can Google who Edward Bernays is. Sigmund Freud's nephew, who created this play on your fear and marketing tactic. Oh, man. They playing on my emotions. When you secure party creditor process. We'll always say we did this for the youth or the people that are wasting their time and wasting their money. But what's going to protect me as a living flesh being? Knowing how to do business properly in jurisdictions. Why? Because you are, to a degree, engaged with a system. It's a system. It's a system. It's a game. Game, system, it's a process. It's a process to the game. Right. The secure party creditor process is for businesses. You come into the vault, we could show y'all all day. Fortune 500s use the UCC all the time. Fortune 500 companies are using the secure party creditor process because they're issuing shares of their company. They're issuing shares. Do you have an interest in the all caps name? Yeah. Do you have a certificate? No. Most people don't have certificates. They don't have certificate evidence and interest because the guru goofballs didn't tell them that. because they don't know business. There's no way that could be true, Trust Christian Vault. They didn't tell me to issue a certificate of indebtedness, right? Because you don't know effing securities. Because you need a securities agent around you. You need somebody that knows securities so they can tell you how to operate when you're operating with securities. A secured debt and an unsecured debt. Hold on. Is the secured party creditor process, does that make the debt secured, or is it an unsecured debt? Most people have unsecured debt. They don't have secured debt. They have unsecured debt. You want to know why? Because it's on the public side, on the business side. So it's a write-off. On the private side, you don't write off debt. You pay it. On the private side, you pay debts. You don't abscond from debts on the private side. In the public, we see it all the time. The secure party creditor process goofballs, they're a Ponzi scheme. So they're obviously showing you that's how you do it. That's how you do it in the public. You do what the secure party creditor process gurus are doing. They create this so-called university or educational system. They created it, right. But they went online and they're sourcing the information for you. They don't have any internal lawyers. They don't have any internal accountants that can assist you. Do you do accounting for the secure party creditor process? Oh no, I'm outside the system. And that's when they're going to come lock your ass up. Oh man. But the gurus are out. They not in jail. Look, ladies and gentlemen. People talk about, oh, this person's an agent. This person's COINTELPRO. This person's counterintelligence. Nah, they're not. They're just not telling you what they're doing. They're really doing. It's unfortunate. We've seen so many people throughout the years come to the vault and ask us about this garbage. And they still reach out. They secretly in their heart. Secretly, it's a secret thing in your heart. You get on the line, you reached out for trustee training. You know we talk about private trustee training. They get on the line and guess, they ask, so what's your thoughts on the SPC process, the secure party creditor process? People got on the line and told us more about what they don't know than what they do know. I'm in trusteeship. I got a government trust. It's the Sesta K trust. The government created it for me so I could discharge the debts. That's the stupidity that they're promoting on the internet. Oh, well, the guru said that I could write off this debt because the government's in debt. They're trillions of dollars in debt. How can I pay for a debt with a debt? Now, ladies and gentlemen, our trustees go through our training program. They're focused on building businesses. They're not focused on that liability. They own nothing, control everything. We're not against whatever you got going on. We're talking about the facts. Most people that go through that process, damn near all that go through that process, it's not financially profitable. So then what are we doing? You trying to get something for nothing? Oh, well, I put a lot of time in. I put a lot of study in. I wasted a lot of my time. I wasted a lot of my energy. I can't get that back. You're right. You can't get it back. So should I just stop the process and go into trustee training, get in trustee training, make it a point to be in trustee training? Look, it's trust, Christian, know nothing, control everything. What did the gurus tell you? Well, if you go secure party creditor, you can discharge your debt and live under the radar and always be looking over your shoulder and trying to figure out how you gonna pay for something because why? You can't pay for something with a debt note. You can't pay for a debt with a debt. This is how stupid we sound. Right? But hey, most people, it takes them a while, years sometimes, to reach out to the vault. Man, I've been listening to you for years. I'm giving up on the secure party creditor process. Well, I've been doing this for years. Every time I talk to somebody, they never tell me about how to be an asset manager of a private trust. What they talk to me about is being a so-called trustee, which is truly not always the case. Well, I'm a trustee of the Sesticate Trust, and I appoint the government to discharge debt since I can't pay for a debt with a debt. You can't pay for a debt with a debt. That's what they told me. That's what I'm gonna try to execute. But I'm studying a lot, and I done got a couple notices back that I might not be doing it right, and I sent letters off and I haven't gotten a response. I'm dropping $200 on mailings. I'm dropping $300 on mailings. I'm trying to mail it on the good paper. I'm trying to mail it on 23-pound paper. I'm trying to mail it on cotton paper. I'm trying to go get it. I'm gonna go get my birth certificate authenticated. That might cost me $100. It might cost me more than $100. But guess what? I'ma figure it out. Cause I wanna be private. So by you saying you want to be private, that means you want to build a business. You want to build investments, an asset. Yeah, no one said you had to do that in your name. No one said you had to own it. That's the opportunity that you've been given. These are critical decisions people have to make. This was a buckshot and a warning to the consumers of this information. Oh man, that guy Trust Christian Vault was trying to talk about it, and he said it wasn't gonna work. I gotta go back to my peoples and tell them, look, man, I gotta go listen to this guy Trust Christian Vault, cause it's not. He's telling me it's not gonna work, but the rest of these people are telling me on the internet, or these goofballs or the gurus telling me it's gonna work. But at the same time, Trust Christian Vault talking about building a business. These people over here talking about discharging and writing off debt. You gotta create a debt first, right? Right. But my signature is how the money is even issued into the system. Really? How's the money issued again? Based off my signature. If it wasn't for me, there would be no government. If it wasn't for me, there would be no money. What? Hold on. Here's the biggest insult to your intelligence, man and woman. Here's the biggest insult to your intelligence as you go through this secure party creditor process. You ready for this bullshit ass line? Oh man, the money's not real. Money's not real. We're not going to talk about time today because time is being calculated every second. We're not saying it's accurate. We're not saying nothing's perfect. We didn't say anything's perfect. Nothing's perfect. You, me, the system. It's not perfect. But then we're going to go and use the other lazy, stupid line. Oh, well, hold on. We're not going to say that the money's not perfect. We're just going to say the money's not real. And we're going to get some little young dummies from poverty that's making less than 100 grand a year, that's making less than 50 grand a year. Their parents were working. They're latchkey kids. They were born in a daycare. They were raised in a daycare. Oh, yeah, we're going to tell you, guess what? You wanted love from your parents, but don't worry about that because money's not real either. The money that your parents will use to give you a good education, that's not real. Money's not real. Money's not real. And you bought it because you kept hearing it over and over and over. The money's not real. Well, if you want to believe that, tell somebody that when they homeless and they get some money for a meal, tell them if that meal wasn't real. When people are using quote unquote Federal Reserve notes to pay for their housing, say, well, you don't have to live in a house. You can live on the street without the Federal Reserve notes. But what happens when you give them Federal Reserve notes and they can get into some type of shelter? Where they can get clothes, decent clothes that fit, clothes that don't have holes in them, clothes that don't smell, for them to be able to wash their own clothes. Tell them money's not real. Money's not real though, cause I got it. Cause I got the gold chains on my neck. I'm discharging the debt, so the money's not real. Oh, we would like to say we could end on something so stupid. But are people that stupid? Is there a thing called stupid? Or there's a thing called a fool? Is that information foolish to adopt into your thought process? For sure. It's not going to make you go get no money. It's not going to make you have a favorable thought process towards money. But you got the guru sitting on the internet telling you, well, you don't need money. But the clothes they got on their back, they came from using money. The internet that they use in the broadcast, they sorry ass message to you, they're using money. But money's not real. Money's not real. The money's not real anyways. That's what. Do you see how many times we have to say it? Because when you start hearing that and you don't come from a solid foundation, you're going to believe it. Just like you believe them. Because is it hard to make a lot of money? Yes. It's just the facts. We're not telling you it's going to be easy. We're not saying that you becoming a millionaire. We're not telling you that. We're letting you know the truth. It's going to take some hard work to build a business. But hold on. Everybody that's ever came to us with this secure party creditor bull crap, literally, we haven't met one that discharged anything yet. How about that? Oh man, 5 years plus in the making. Ain't nobody. Look, guess what? We actually know your gurus behind closed doors, and they haven't discharged anything yet. They guess what? Y'all, here we go. You had to wait to the end to hear this. The gurus, they told you that they discharged the debt. When it didn't go through, they just didn't tell you it didn't go through. So that's why we get the consultations from people that are using these processes from these gurus, and they're not getting the results. Why? Because the gurus aren't doing it. They're selling you their programs. Why would they need? They might as well just put the information on the internet for free. But guess what? They can't. And what they gonna say? It's private information. Clearly, it's private information if a company is issuing a debt. But it's not private information. Why? Because you're putting it on public record. So when they talk to you about public and private don't mix, if public and private don't mix, why would you register a private trust with the public? Well, it's a public trust Christian involved. Right. So do you know the rules and the regulations for that public trust? Oh, I don't have to worry about that. There's my birth certificate. I don't care. We did a buckshot and a warning for the ones that want to reach out from these other organizations that have gone through these processes, bought somebody's information for $500 or $2,000 or $7,000, and you just wasted your money. They don't waste their money when they come through trustee training. That's it. They we got mentors that really don't need the money because they have enough money and they like doing new things, so they want to get new money, but not your money. They want to get new money, not your money. Remember, the guru said that the money's not real. That's what the guru said, which is, if you follow that thought process, we already know you ain't got no damn money. Why? Because you can't have money and think adversely to it like that and on a large scale. Sure, you're going to get a couple dollars here and there because your spirit in the Most High is like, well, look, we got to protect them from their own ignorance until they get through this phase of following ignorance. And ignorance is ignoring modern money mechanics. Ignorance is ignoring hypothecation. Ignorance is ignoring how to start your private family bank. That's it. If you're not going to study to learn how to move correctly and associate with those people, how's that going to be the case? Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody tuning in live, listening to replay. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Be prepared for pop-up episodes. Feel free to type any question you have. We'll stay on for an extra minute or until we finish up with our questions here. But any questions people have about secured party creditor process, you can feel free to type into the chat. We'll go forward from there. Look forward to hearing from you. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Always appreciate it. Once again, Christian at trustchristian.com. Feel free to type any questions into the chat. If you don't want to lose your money, and we talking about lose it, piss it away. It's gone in the wind. But I did a secure party creditor process. Yeah, you did. Let's go there. You did. And how profitable has it been? You still working a job? You still working a job? You working a job and you a secure party creditor? That didn't elevate you to a millionaire? That didn't elevate you to $100 million because of your birth certificate? That didn't elevate you to a billionaire because your birth certificate? No! And we like talking like that. Because we know we like to raise our voice at these people. Like, can they respond? There is no response. Remember, we're going against their argument. They say money is not real. They say the system's broken. Look, look, let's listen, let's hear the spiritual context of what they're saying to you. They're telling you that they're telling you your hard work in exchange for those monies, those pieces of paper, that's not real. That's what they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. And people buy this all the time. That's what they buying. Somebody typed into the chat, yes, I'm still working. Right, because the process of secured party creditor is for business. It's not for personal. You could almost sue these people because they put you in an adverse position to making money properly. Because you don't need to use your name. You don't need to use a social to make money. Oh, did we let the cat out the hat? Did we just say one of the biggest secrets of how, listen, the gurus tell you the BS. Donald Trump told you the truth. Donald Trump said, guess what? Whether you like him or not, he said, guess what? I don't have a tax return to show. A lot of them will say that. Somebody said, is the UCC one the way to go or not? It's for business. It's not for personal. So if you're looking to say, well, I'm going to use the UCC for my government name or my personal name, or I'm going to try to put a lien on the social security number because when I drive a car, they issue a speeding ticket. It's like, if you're driving that fast, they actually will revoke the license, which means they call it reckless endangerment, whatever. So they're going to revoke it. But for the most part, it's a fee. So what people are saying indirectly is you don't have any money to pay the fee. Oh, I don't want to pay the fee because it should be illegal. It's not illegal in that jurisdiction. There are jurisdictions where you can actually exceed the speed limit with multiple period. You can do that, and they don't. It's not enforced. But if the rules, the laws around it, how you gonna get around that? Oh man, I gotta get a driver's license. No, you don't. What happened to your family being wealthy? Well, y'all got drivers driving y'all around. Oh, you didn't get to that point yet? Right. So you have to build a sustainable base that allows your family not to be in the public. You think you're gonna work next to a Rockefeller? You think you're gonna work next to a Rothschild? You think you're gonna work next to a Carnegie? You think you're gonna work next to a Kennedy? No. You think you're gonna work next to a Clinton? You think you're gonna work next to an Obama in your life? Yeah, that's the name Obama. You think you're gonna work next to one of their lineage? No, because they know how to get out of the public and get into the private sector. You have to build something. No, I'm gonna take the shortcut. I'm gonna try to secure party creditor it. So I appreciate the questions. Somebody says, should they do it or not? For a personal, no. Don't waste your time. For the personal, it's not gonna give you any money. Anybody in the chat can type in the money right now, how much money you done made. And we're talking, think about it. Is a secure party creditor process like your job? Do you trade time and money for the secure party creditor process and you get money back from it? No. That's how you know the gurus are lying to you. At least when you trade your time and your money, you're gonna get something fruitful at the end of it. That's the bottom line. We're tired of people being broke. You get rid of being broke by doing something, by building a business, not by sitting here trying to get something for nothing. That's the facts. If somebody mistakenly filled out a UCC, is it necessary to revoke or give notice of rescission? The UCCs will expire anyways, and you actually can yeah, you can always take a UCC down, or like you say, yeah, you can always like make an amendment. It's business. That's the best part about business. The beautiful part about business is if you do make a mistake, you go in debt for a year. You get out. You can businesses can operate in the debt. Like, what are we talking about here? Because these people are sitting on the internet just lying to you. It's unfortunate. Oh man, the money's not real. Yeah, and that's why you're poor. So, it's like the best part about business is that you can operate in debt. Actually, surprisingly, you can operate in debt for a while. I mean, you can operate in debt. It's not a cool thing to say that, but you can operate in debt. It's just what it is. That's just the reality. So what we're saying there is you can amend it. Make an amendment to it. You can. If you want to take it down and say, all right, I messed up right there, let me take it down. Like, first of all, y'all think that there's some scary, spooky person like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain that's really trying to like do something evil to you. They're not. They're not. No one's after you. This is how the gurus prey on your weakness. They make you think that the government is an adverse party, and you indirectly become an adverse party to the government, which the government is the people. So what does that mean? You need to learn the rules of the game for the people. You need to learn the rules for the people. Why? Because otherwise we will have complete anarchy. We cannot have that. We have to have a system. It's not perfect, but we got a system. You made the choice to pay taxes, right? Because once you figure out that, oh damn, that's a voluntary system, what are you supposed to do? Put yourself in the correct position, not complain about it, and then try to abscond the position of debts, one, and two, even have to generate capital ever again anyways. Once again, appreciate all the questions in the chat, live or in the replay. How do you feel about a living revocable trust? That's a public side entity. We don't need to feel anything about the public side. It's the public side. Bottom line, living revocable means the grantor can come back and change things about it. So it's considered a public document. Is the grantor a public citizen? Oh no, the grantor is not a public citizen. It's my lowercase name. First of all, the UCC, is it in all caps? Yeah, that means they focused on business, not on personal. But you didn't know what you were doing. You went to the guru, so they told you, guess what? Let's go into the private real quick and leave the private and come into the public and think we're going to just change the rules. What's the rules? The only thing in the public is business, not personal. There's nothing public in the business. I mean, there's nothing personal and there's nothing personal in the public. It's business. That's why it's so neutral. That's why they allow gay marriage and things like that, because it's for business purposes. They stay neutral in the public. The Roe v. Wade thing on the federal level, it's a business move for the states. The people that understand, look, we not in the public, but the people that are in the public, we're just going to figure out ways to allow them to make themselves taxable and be in a voluntary taxable position. But we have to stay neutral. They can either volunteer to work with us, or they can learn how to put themselves in a position like Donald Trump. Simple. And Donald Trump's not the only one. If you don't like Donald Trump, that's because you got your feelings involved. We're talking about business, something that's been promoted in the public, that's pretty much in most people's mind and they can see. We could use other candidates that have gone through on both sides that say that they don't have anything to report because they have their business affairs set up correctly. It's the same exact thing that you're trying to do with the UCC process. They're in the correct position, period. They don't own anything, so they're not taxable. Oh man, damn! I done spent $3,000 on this. I'm in the university, and I'm just starting out. You trying to tell me I should turn around? Just pay for the membership? That's on you. This is business. It ain't personal. Why do you care about how you feel about the process instead of focusing on the results, the business outcomes? Is this going to be financially profitable? Is this going to give me an immediate return on my capital that I put into it? No, this just going to make me free. This going to give me a status correction. So when the boys come and try to lock me up, guess what? I could tell them, I'm not under your jurisdiction. How you, if you went under their jurisdiction, you know that's called diplomatic immunity, right? Right. Somebody typed into the chat, what do you think about an express trust? Uh, an express trust is it's a contract. It's not much to think about. It's an express trust. It's over 80 different types of trust. Y'all want to go there? Let's go there. It's over 80 different types of trust. Like label wise, because when you understand private contracts, there's more than 80. Because they're private contracts, they're crafted a certain way. Expressed is written on paper. Okay. Is that a good thing? Yeah, it's challenging to operate internationally if you actually don't have a it's one of those things that when you operate in the public, we lost our point because we were looking at something in the chat, but nevertheless, you know, you got it written on paper. You can't operate sometimes in other jurisdictions if it's not written on paper. So when people say, "Oh, I got a trust, I'm a trustee," they reach out to us all the time. I'm a secured party creditor. I'm a trustee of a trust, and we ask them, "So where's the trust document?" All I got is the EIN number. Where's the trust document? They reach out to us every week, 52 weeks out of the year. Trust Christian Vote. I got a trust, but I don't have the document. Where's the paperwork? I was sold it from the SPC guru goofballs over the internet. They told me I was going to get an express trust, an ecclesiastical trust. I was going to get a private trust, and I didn't get it. But I don't have the document either. Right. That's the facts. That's the facts. We report what we get as consultations. We don't need to make this stuff up. We don't have an interest in telling lies or stories. It's not fun. It's boring. This is boring information. It's boring. It's It's poor. Talking about this stuff. But we're doing the episode for the people when they reach out so they can know the real deal and not be caught up and wasting their time, man. You know how much time you're going to waste to that? You could have been building a business. You could have been building your dream. You focused on a damn social security number that you don't want to collect social security from. Stop using it. We trust Christian vote. That's what you're doing. You're crying. Because if you're not crying, you're going to pull your pants up and you're going to say, you know what? I have to make a positive mental decision to say, you know what? I got to do something different. And I'm worthy. You got to do something different. You got to get up every day and you got to build a business. You got to build some alternative streams of income. You got to do what we talking about, the investing in the trustee training, so you can put yourself in a position where you are in trust as a trustee. That's not going to come from free. You think you're supposed to be in trust for free? Somebody going to ask the question, well, how you get into trust, a cheap trust? What are you talking about? There's over 80 different types of trust. So now you trying to get into wealth building, talking about being cheap. You're not going to make it. We can already let you know. Cheap doesn't equal wealth. I'm trying to get all this information for the low low. I'm trying to get it like I was getting drugs off the street. Whatever. Appreciate everybody that's tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody that's tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, this is Christian at trustchristian.com for real trustee training. Not sitting around talking about I'm going to get money from a birth certificate. One. Two, the government owes me. Three, money's not real. I mean, do we need to keep going through the stupidity? Or we just going to pull your pants up and say, you know what? I gotta do business. I have to learn business. Is that gonna be an overnight process? No. You're never gonna get it's no defined learning to business. It's a fluid thing actually. That's why they call it currency, because it's fluid. It's moving. It's meant to move. Business is evolving. You know, just like they say Federal Reserve notes weren't always here. Now they have a new form of so-called good faith, or people having faith in some monetary system. That's called crypto. That came 100 years later. There's a fluid to business. It's fluid. It's not stuck like they try to make you seem. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, that's Christian at trustchristian.com. Trustee training. That's what we focused on over here. Not SPC, not secure party creditor. But I'm saying trust Christian Vault. It's on the internet. They getting a lot of views. They said this is private. How is it private and you got it out on the public? You don't have to have your name on a corporation in the public. But they didn't tell you that, did they? No. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Always appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. It's always interesting to look at the comments in the chat. We asked a simple question. We'll ask it again so it can be for the record. If you've made money off the secure party creditor process filing, please let us know. Don't think. Type into the chat yes or no. Don't think that we haven't had people come to us and they actually are in the process like, oh, I'm not using the social, but I'm working a job. First of all, how you think that's smart? How you think that's smart? You working a job. Talking about I don't have to deal with a tax liability. You have a job. Is that the highest position to be in business? No. So there's advantages for being business managers, business owners, and creating businesses. There's incentives for that. Hey, maybe you want a tax credit, like a child credit or something, Who knows? Maybe you want an income credit. Who knows? We're just talking to the young ones that they actually have a fighting spirit. They're going to fight for their dream. They're going to fight for freedom. And they're going to do whatever it takes to get the job done. Whereas other people, on the other hand, all they're going to do, they're going to sit around and they're going to say, man, the system's bad. Woe is us. If you're not a woe is you, Christian at trustchristian.com, you can reach out to us just to go over how to get your business started. Get your LLC up and running. Make sure that you do get the entity classified properly, where even on the public side, it's still not classified as a public entity. It's classified, or it's not necessarily considered public. We're going to say it is public because it utilizes public laws and LLCs and C Corps. But we're talking about having your name on it. That's what we're talking about. Oh, I'm getting it classified properly as a corporation, not as a sole proprietorship. That you can feel free to reach out to the vault. But once again, we're just flabbergasted by the consultations that people reach out, and they come on the line, and they really are. They're upset. They are really upset. Like, there is no way that I'm about to piss away my time. There's no way that I pissed away this money. It's no way. It can't be that. I gotta believe it. I gotta believe. First of all, the guy on the other end of the computer screen, or the lady on the other end of the computer screen, They not in jail, right? But they also taking your money for a goddamn podcast, for the recordings that they sending you. That's true. Yeah, we're happy to serve. Look forward to serving. We're not telling you to do nothing illegal. You know how many people actually know they did the SPC process wrong, the secure party creditor process wrong, and they're scared because they don't know how to fix it? Then somebody comes in humbly into the chat and says, well, if I mistakenly filed it for my personal, can I revoke it? Yes. Can I rescind it? Yes. Can I take it off of record? Well, did you put it on the record? Or did one of the gurus file it for you? Because if you put it on the record, you could take it down. It's like if you owned a company or you had a company that another company owes you a debt or owes that company a debt, the company that filed can always take it down. Always. Dang. They ain't told me it was that easy to be in business. You're right. They wanted to play off your personal emotions. And you have to make a conscious decision to say, I am wealthy and money's real as hell to me. And if it's not real to you, you're going to see why it fleet away from you like the wind. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listen, replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Once again, it's Christian at trustchristian.com. Trustee Training. That's what we focused on. Private wealth building, private family banking, private workshops. Not sitting behind a computer talking about you think wealthy people not traveling around right now? They're traveling and they're going to business meetings because that's how they make their money. That's how their family's gonna stay wealthy. So you got to make some tough decisions like they did. Are you gonna stay locked up in the house, or are you gonna get out and say I gotta actually educate myself and network and get around other people that are doing it or doing what I want to do? But the gurus don't have secure party creditor discharging websites. Why? Because they're afraid the IRS is going to sit in the room with them. You want to go there? Let's go there. Took that long an episode to go there. They might sniff out their processes. Appreciate everybody for tuning in live, listening to replay. Christian at trustchristian.com. Peace. Hit the like and the subscribe button so you can catch our pop-up episodes. Peace and joy.